Deaf.
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 Bye.
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 Deaf by Daylight.
Hold up.
All right, yo, everybody. I forgot to unmute.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Deaf by Daylight. This is episode number 47, and we're almost at a year. We just had this discussion already. I'm not going to fake it, but thank you for, if you're here already, thanks for coming and hanging out. I will be saying this for a while, so if you can hit that button, I believe it's a follow button.
Yeah,
it's a follow button. There we go. Yeah, if you could hit that follow button for us, that'd be great. I'm gonna say it a couple more times as the episode goes on, but we do have a nice little episode today. Today's just me and Ernie. So with that said, how are you, Ernie?
pretty good. Looks like Andrew wants us to put on some Britney Spears, please.
That's gonna cost us quite a bit of money to get the copyright for some Britney Spears. Maybe like some B-side that no one's ever heard of. It still costs us like $200.
It's instead of "Hit Me Baby One More Time," it's like we'll get the like ghetto version where it's like "Smack Me Baby 3 More Times" or something like that.
Yeah, some Brittany Pike instead of is the one singing that song. But yeah, so we're gonna do some cool stuff today. We've got mostly just hanging out. We're not gonna be in any rush. We're not gonna do we're gonna have stuff obviously for you content wise. We are talking about body horror. More specifically, we're talking about It Follows with some caveats of other movies happening. I'm definitely going to talk about The Thing. Probably going to talk about The Fly, maybe some Teeth. But yeah, so just come and hang out. Go ahead.
So, just want to say, Andrew, you should unfollow us real quick and then follow again, so you can see the follow prompt on the screen. I think you're really gonna like it.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're referring to. Yeah, so we're waiting for that real quick. I'm tempted to just do it myself because I want to see it also. But
wait, actually, I think I could just do a prompt. Wait, let's try this. Hold on. Yeah, it did work.
There you go. That's when someone follows us. That's what we say. Boom! There he is. There he is, Moray, baby. It's one of my favorite songs right now. If you've never heard it before, go check it out. Quicksand by Moray. Yeah, so we've got some cool stuff going on this Sunday afternoon. We think we're gonna stick to Sundays for a while. Oh shit, it is Monday. Sorry, I'm on spring break, so we are doing it Monday. We do need to switch days around for the Twitch qualification / algorithm, but Monday, Sunday, and then we'll try to get like a weekend or maybe middle of the week episode. I can do the middle of the week because I'm on spring break, but we'll see how that works out. I've also got a gig on Wednesday night, playing live music again. That's exciting. if you could go see anybody right now, no COVID restrictions, they're coming to El Paso, who would you want to go see as your first concert back?
Damn, that's tough. Um, I think right now, like if fucking Murray came, I'd be fucking down for that because I'm listening to that a lot lately.
Fuck yeah, I'd go see that fool in a heartbeat because
Yeah,
he just like to support.
yeah. Anybody else? Like, I don't know. I really want to see fucking Barbarian. I haven't seen those fools play in forever, so
It'd be fucking great to see a fucking Barbarian show.
Andrew says Murray
Uh,
too.
maybe a little Saberwolf.
Yeah, that'd
Um,
be dope. See all the dudes back at it again.
dude, yeah, I'd like to just see all the fucking dudes. Whatever show would get all the dudes.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound as good out loud as it did in my head, but if just get all the boys back together, that's what I would want to be a part of. I'm not exactly sure what
Yeah.
would bring all the boys back together, but there has to be something.
Probably like milkshakes or something.
Yeah, bring them all to the yard. I think I'd like to see Tyler Childers. I think he was like my pandemic uh, my main during the pandemic. So I'd like to go fucking have a couple beers, listen to Tyler Childers.
Fucking Andrew, are you down
Um,
for girls?
you know that I should have said something more along those lines, but I guess I missed the fellas.
Yeah.
Also, I mean we went to Murray's, not Moray's, but Murray's. Um, and like there were a bunch of girls there. We went to where did we go? It was fucking way too hype. Oh, we went to EPTX,
Oh yeah.
and there were a bunch of girls there, and it's just like I've seen this before. And there's nothing special going on here.
Yeah, I think it's just
Well,
more
at
like
EPTX there was
yeah,
there
there's
was there was
definitely
a couple
something about it.
special things going on at EPTX, but
Definitely some
yeah, I was like,
talented young ladies. Just say that.
yes, quite talented. Uh, they're gonna really fucking make moves in that business for sure. But yeah, I again, it's just like I'd rather see the homies. I haven't seen a lot of the homies. Man, I haven't seen fucking Eric or Johnny or any of those guys, and so I'd really like to see those guys. We did see Jared, and that was nice.
Yeah. Andrew, you
But
too?
yeah, I think
We haven't seen you in for a while, forever.
yeah, I haven't seen. I would go see Tyler Childers. That would be my pick.
I think like a big name that I would want to go see would be Kid Cudi, especially with that new album that he just like put out. That'd be like a really
Yeah,
good one for me.
people are very into that album.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm a Kid Cudi guy, but not in that, not to be like, yeah, that's who I would want to go see. Although I mean I'd fucking go see him, just not, it didn't come to mind right away. I actually haven't even heard that album. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I will. I will soon. And so talking a little bit about what we're going to be doing as far as the content, the subject matter. Body horror is like not up my alley always, because there's like a lot of like gore and shit like that, and I've been very vocal about how that's not exactly my thing. But the movie that I'm featuring today is one of my favorite. I posted it as being possibly my favorite movie from horror movie from 2014, because it's fantastic and it is considered body horror, although not in the way that like The Fly is considered body horror. But I can't even watch that fucking movie. It's like gross, and like I get what people get out of it, but I'm not like, I just don't. So out of the movies that like we kind of talked about, or maybe maybe you looked it up and there was like a list, which one would you say is like your favorite out of those?
I don't know about favorite, but like one of the most like, I guess, brutal ish is fucking teeth.
Mm.
Is like that's fucking scary.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna go straight to teeth because it has like a cult following. I mean, not that The Fly doesn't or fucking whatever else, but I think because of the concept of teeth, if you're listening and you don't know what we're talking about, it's a movie about a woman, actually, it's like a girl. She's not even really a woman yet, right?
Yeah, she's like younger.
but
She's like not a lady, but she's definitely not like a teenager or anything like that. She's like maybe like 20s, maybe.
yeah, well, either way, yeah, like
Young lady.
right around there. Yeah, a young lady, a young woman. She has teeth in her vagina, and she
This sounds
that
so
obviously. I mean, it is funny. I think it is funny, and there's obviously like some very serious undertones
funny.
about what the movie is trying to fucking get across. You know what I mean? But mostly the movie is not comical. Let me be straight up. It's not comical. But the concept is very funny. No, it says she is teenage. It says
Oh,
a
for-
teenage spokesperson for a Christian abstinence group called The Promise.
Huh. Well, we stand corrected. Andrew, huh? Teeth in her vagina. Yeah, she has teeth in her vagina, dog.
Well, so like one of the scenes of the movie that I remember is like she's got a stepbrother, and at one point the stepbrother and his girlfriend are getting into an argument because he only ever wants to fuck her in the ass. Because it's like the Lord's hole or whatever. Like if you don't have like vaginal sex, then you're still not like, you know, breaking the fucking rule or whatever stupid thing.
Yeah.
But even at the time, this is 2007, so I'm like a sophomore in high school, and even at the time, I remember being like, "Oh, he's gay." Like that's why he doesn't want to have sex with you. But I guess at the time, I couldn't even imagine like wanting to be abstinent like for any fucking reason. And I'm sure that anyone out there would probably agree with me. I don't really hang out with the abstaining type. But then obviously it gets very real because she's like tries to rape her.
Oh no.
Obviously, if you've got teeth in your vagina, you've got a built-in defense mechanism for that kind of thing. And but even that movie is not a body horror movie in the way that some of the other ones are. The Fly keeps coming up, so I'm just gonna talk about it. The Fly is body horror. I don't know if anyone out there or anyone that's gonna listen to this, if you wanna. Oh shit. I was not on mute. I didn't even realize you were in a game because my screen was not moving.
Oh.
So The Fly, Jeff Goldblum, who's phenomenal. I really love Jeff Goldblum. But
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Did you ever see that? It
no,
was,
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it was I don't know. I think it was SNL. Not too sure, but it was a skit where they were like remaking Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next" or whatever the fuck it is.
Thank you next, yeah.
And it's like, "Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff."
They're talking about Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, it's like it's fucking hilarious.
Excellent. My favorite thing about Jeff, I mean, like, there's a lot of really cool things. There's a picture of him where he's like just standing there and he's holding like two young hot girls by their necks. Like, it's really weird if you want to go check it out. But I saw that picture and I was like, what a fucking baller, dude! Like, this dude is just, girls are just fucking lining up to be choked on camera. That's one of my favorite things about Jeff Goldblum. But Jeff Goldblum and The Fly. So first and foremost, in addition to being a body horror, this movie's like a fucking love story for the ages. There's a lot of That what?
Sorry, I fucked up.
Oh.
Andrew's about to stream as well. He said for us to have a good stream. You have a good stream as well, buddy.
You too, brother. Thank you. If we get done here, I'll fucking definitely hop over. Have a good night. Yeah. So this movie is considered like a phenomenal love story, and I get it. But for me, if you've ever read The Metamorphosis, so there's two different metamorphoses. Oh shit! I lost my pop screen. There's two very different metamorphosis. Sorry. Literary. They're not books, right? So one of them is a short story by Franz Kafka, and it's about this guy who wakes up one day and he's a fucking cockroach. Like he's a giant fucking cockroach, the size of a human, but he's a cockroach, and he's in like his room, and his family has to like come to terms with it, and he has to come to terms with like being a bug. And then there's the classic metamorphosis, which is a whole different thing that we don't need to talk about because it's not relevant here. But that the Kafka's metamorphosis reminds me a lot of what's going on in The Fly, because it's body horror in that very specific way. Like, what the fuck is happening to me? I'm turning into a fucking monster. You know, and all the things that come with that. Like, if you have like a pretty normal sex life, if you have like a pretty normal, you know, you have like a normal job that you enjoy and that kind of thing, all of that shit is just falling apart in front of you because of the way you look all of a sudden. And the reason that that's especially horrific is because it, like, you think about like people that have to go through that every day. Like, there's this girl. I hope Crystal never hears that. There's this girl that went to Bel Air, and she has been used as like a meme because she has some kind of condition that has made her physical features very different. And oftentimes she's used as like a meme to, like, you know, like, oh, imagine, you know, your girlfriend was, you know, this terrible looking and shit. And she takes it, like, in real life, she handles it amazingly, because she's always like, fuck it, like, I am who I am, and I feel good about who I am, and if you guys want to, like, you want to be so fucking terrible as to compare me to whatever, like, then that's on you, it's not on me. And that's really awesome. But personally, like, I'm an ugly person, like, not in the inside, but like, I was watching The Waterboy the other day, and when they're like all outside of his window and Vicky Valancourt's trying to get people to like tell him why they love him, he's like, I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Fucking what? That shit is fucking hilarious.
I don't remember. I don't remember his name, but
yeah.
It's right before Rob Schneider does the whole
guy.
fucking the ball guy. He's like, I am not what you would call a handsome man. And I mean, that's how personally I feel about myself. Like, I don't think I'm bad looking, but I'm not like a fucking, you know, an Adonis.
Yeah.
And I think even that little bit of a difference, like or large difference or whatever you want to call it, I think even that makes life more difficult. Like, if you're a really good looking person, life is just easier for you. And there's going to be really good looking people that are going to feel victimized by that statement. Like, you never know who you can trust because people are trying to fuck you all the time. It's like, well, Lati fucking da. Like, like, oh, I'm sorry, people are trying to fuck you all the time. Like, seriously though, like, it is like, more doors are open. People will fucking hire you, like, more consistently if you're good looking. They statistically good looking people make more money. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy, all of the things that, but even then, like, coming from someone that is not on that end of the spectrum, I would be devastated if I was like even less appealing than I am right now. Like, I live basically a normal life. I'm a very normal looking guy. And I don't, like, people don't fucking run for the hills and shit every time they see me. But there are people that have to live like that every day. and
guys.
yeah, fucking sloth. Fucking yeah. I mean, it's hard, I'm sure, but The Fly explores some of those themes and like this. That she continues to love him even though he looks like this fucking monster. Um, and it's supposed to be very touching and all that stuff, but there's definitely a part of you when you're watching it that's like, okay, like I get what they're trying to say, but this fucking monster fly person, she eventually has to kill him. Thank God. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie from the 1980s, but she eventually has to fucking kill him because he like his behavior changes. But for a while there, she thinks like I'm gonna continue to love him regardless of what he looks like. And so I've gone on about a couple movies now and have not mentioned fucking It Follows once, but that's okay.
So like, I had a question, like the whole body horror subject. Like, that movie Clown, where the guy like he rents a clown suit for his son's birthday, and then he starts becoming the clown. That's technically like considered a body horror one, right? Because he even tries to pull
Absolutely
the nose off, and like it peels the skin off of his nose because of it.
Absolutely body horror, and I think that even like people will try to make the case for like Saw being body horror. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but it's more specifically like Clown. Clown for me is more of a body horror movie than any of like the Saws or the Hostels, because
those are like torture porn, no?
Yeah, well, and that's like, I guess it's like torture porn is like a subgenre of body horror.
Okay.
But I don't even agree with that necessarily. I think it's way more of its own kind of genre as opposed to body horror, which is like about things changing on you. Like, not someone's attacking you and hacking your limbs off. Like, no, you've got some kind of disease, or you've got some kind of parasite, or like The Ruins, I think could be considered body horror. Did you ever see that movie?
I did not, actually.
So The Ruins is like, and I thought this deserved its own episode at one point, but I just don't think we're ever going to get there. And so I don't have a problem talking about it now. But The Ruins is a movie about these people that go on vacation to like the Aztec, they're not Aztec pyramids, but pyramids in South America somewhere, and they come upon this. Well, actually, they pay somebody to go and take them to these pyramids, and the guy tells them like, don't touch the pyramids. Like, we're gonna look very quickly, and then like that's it. But of course, they're like Americans, and they've got to ruin everything, so they go and they touch it, and they're like dancing on it and shit, and then they get attacked. The natives attack them. Their only option is to retreat inside the pyramid. And then they're attacked by like these fucking parasites that like get under their skin, and they're like crawling under their skin and crawling out of their like eye holes and shit. That for me is also body horror, even though it's something that came into your body from the outside. It's still like under your skin. You're having to fucking, there's something inside of you that's fucked up. And I think that's like the biggest thing is body horror usually is internal. But none of that's more so than in It Follows, because there is some gore in It Follows, but it's very light. What you saw on the flyer, if you looked at the flyer for today's episode, that image is about for the most part, the most gruesome image in the movie. Excuse me. And so it's not anything over the top like that. It's beautifully shot. I can't express that enough. Before you get into your match, you're already in there. Yeah.
Like, she snaps her leg, or they snap her leg or something. Like, that shit looks fucking intense.
Dude, so that you don't see it happen. The movie opens with her, like, it's a shot of her house, and she runs out of the house, and she's like in heels, like almost Walk of Shame looking outfit, and she like runs to the end of and it's obviously very early in the morning, and she runs like to the end of the street or like houses down, and this woman asks her like, "Hey, do you need help?" And she's like, "No, I'm fine." And she waits and she keeps looking at the house, and she looks at the house. Her dad comes out. He's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Nothing, Dad. Go back inside." But then like something happens, and she sprints back to inside the house, grabs her car keys, takes off, goes to the beach, calls her dad, and she's like, "Dad, I love you. I know I can be a piece of shit sometimes, but I love you. I love Mom." And then like something opens her car door or like turns on her car lights, and then the next scene is her like all fucking crumpled over like that, with her leg all fucking snapped in half and shit. Like it cuts to that on the beach. Eventually what you find out is that what's haunting, or what she was running from, is an entity that is passed from person to person sexually. So it's an STD, a paranormal STD essentially is what's happening.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so like one person passes it on to the next person, and the thing chases that person until it dies, and then it goes back to the person you got it from. So like even when you pass it on, you're not safe, because if the person that you passed it on to dies, then it's coming right back after you.
So that person,
and you don't find that out.
Someone else.
The person that you gave it to. So the coolest thing that they fucking did was that the main character is this girl named Jay. She has these really good friends. I love the way that they did this too, by the way. The friends are like really close. One of them is her sister, but then the other two, there's this boy that's friends with all of them that obviously has a crush on her, and then there's this really like chaotic, neutral kind of character who's really cool. This girl with glasses. I'm gonna just get the name so I can not refer to them that way. Anyway, so this girl is going out with this guy. The main girl, Jay, decides that she's gonna go out, or actually she has been going out with this guy, and she, like, her sister even asked her like, "Hey, I mean, are you planning on having sex with him, whatever?" She's like, "I don't know, he wants to for sure, but I'm not quite there yet, whatever." Mm-hmm. So eventually she does decide to have sex with the guy, and so they're in the car after this movie. He encounters the entity on their date. Like they're like, she's like, "Let's play this game in the crowd, whatever." And he sees it, whatever. So I don't want to go into like too much synopsis, but anyway, the guy passes it onto the girl in the car, and then he immediately chloroforms her afterwards. Like he goes out, like he finishes and he goes and he takes a piss, and then he gets back in the car and he just like he like kisses her on the back, and then boom, chloroform, and you're like, what? Especially if it's like your first time you see this movie, because you don't even know that it's sexually transmitted at this point.
Okay.
And then the way that they explain like all the rules is that he wants her to live. So what he does is he like kidnaps her, and he takes her to this abandoned building and puts her in a wheelchair and ties her into it. And then when she wakes up, he's like, "Look, I know this is fucked up, but this is what's happening to you now. This thing is going to show up here, and it's going to try to kill you. And if it kills you, it's going to come back and to kill me. The only way that you can get rid of it is by having sex with somebody else." And he like goes and he waits until the thing shows up. So the thing only walks. Like it doesn't appear from one thing to, no, it has to walk to you from wherever it is. Like it can only travel by walking, but it can look whatever it wants to look like a human, but it can look like any person it wants to look like. And if it touches you, you just know that it dies. But eventually she sees someone get killed by it, and it fucks you to death. Like it fucks you to death. And then it like, but it's cool because like you can see why that girl had her leg broken off, because like it's like fucking you without any kind of like remorse or reservation, so it was just fucking her in that position till her legs snapped off.
Wait.
And it does it. This other guy, like you see his hands break when it's fucking her, or when it's fucking him. So that's like as much of a synopsis as I want to give. I want to talk about certain scenes or whatever because they're really good, but that's basically what the movie is about. I can't encourage you more to go watch it. It's beautifully shot, and that is not the last time I'm going to say that exact phrase. It is just gorgeous. The choices that they made, as far as the cinematography is concerned, the subtlety of the horror in the movie. It's not, the thing is hard to look at a lot of the times. It doesn't take the form of like normal looking people, or it's a lot of freaky looking people. Some of them are naked and shit. And it's scary. It is scary. But the subtlety of the movie, the soundtrack of the movie, someone had a vision and they fucking nailed it. Every single aspect of that movie is just done very well. I'm seeing here that it only has a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. That's fucking insane. David Robert Mitchell is the one that directed it. He's also the one that wrote the movie. It's fucking crazy to me that it doesn't have like closer to like at least an 8, but I would probably rate it as like a 9.
Wow.
It's really, really well done. And every shot, the first time that you see Jay, it's from like a voyeuristic standpoint. You're introduced to her like you're watching her from across the street. Like get into her pool and shit. It's that kind of stuff where you're like, why this is uncomfortable. Like, and it just works. It gets points across. There's also some really cool little Easter eggs throughout the movie. Pay attention to what movies they watch. Pay attention to the different things that they quote. There's several literature quotes, either poems being read out loud or pieces of literature being read out loud that tie into a lot of the themes of voyeurism, of stalking, of sexual responsibility, of body snatching. So that one of the movies that they're watching when they're all just like hanging out having a little movie night is called Killers from Space. And it's a movie from 1955, one of the first like movies of its kind. It was very sci-fi. It's about these aliens that have big eyes, but there's a body snatching aspect of the movie. So there's a lot of stuff like that I think is really cool. And we'll get to the body horror part in a little bit, but I just talked a lot, so cool out just a little bit here. But yeah, it's a really fucking cool movie. I guess you didn't have a chance to watch it, but you should at some point.
Yeah, no, I got like a bunch of shit going on this past week, so I was just kind of working on like this, and I just didn't get a chance to watch it. But it sounds pretty fucked up, especially if it's a fucking rape parasite kind of thing. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. No, absolutely it is. Like it definitely, I mean, that's what it is. It's like a rape ghost. Like it rapes you, but I mean, you die right then and there. Like,
So
it doesn't, not that makes it better, but
die, but like you don't live if it like fucks you, I'm guessing.
So at one point the guy tells Jay, like when he's teaching her all the rules and shit, he's like, the last thing he says when he's running away is don't let it touch you. But at one point it grabs her by the hair and she doesn't die because her friends intervene quickly enough that I guess it doesn't get to start fucking her. But like it does touch her, so you don't die as soon as it touches you. But the way that the scene happens where you actually see it kill somebody, it's like as soon as it like either enters you or is entered by you, that's when you die right then and there.
Oh, shit.
And then it just uses your body and shit.
Ugh.
So obviously there's like a lot of themes of like sexual responsibility. There's a lot of themes about what it means to like live with an STD. Um, the stigma behind, you know, living with something like that. There's a lot of like very kind of some of them on the nose about like people that have to live with that kind of problem every day. Um, but it's just really good, man. Even if you don't pay attention to any of that shit, even if you're not like looking at the movie in a critic from a critic standpoint, it's really fucking good. And there's plenty of moments that are pretty fucking terrifying. I don't think you get that a lot with like other movies I recommend strongly. I always go back to The Witch, but I don't think there's moments in The Witch where you're like, wow, like that's fucking terrifying. I think it's way more creepy than anything else. There's definitely moments in It Follows where it's like, this is not creepy, this is horrifying. And so I really fucking love this movie. And the reason that it's body horror is because of the sexually transmitted part. There's not actually a lot of stuff that's changing with their bodies, but there's something inside of their body that they can no longer control that is going to inevitably lead them to their doom. Which isn't a spoiler alert because there's the main characters, there's like a mixed bag of what eventually happens. You really don't see the ending coming. So I didn't ruin anything, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a part of it where you're like, this is really, really fucked up, and it's scary. I don't know what to call it, but the entity, that follows the best or my favorite like version of it when it like when it's like shape shifting is this really tall guy. And oh man, like he shows up like in her hallway. They eventually like see it when they're hiding in the shed in the beach. Like it's just really creepy, that fucking giant tall guy. It's real fucked up.
It's like fucking Slenderman.
Yeah, obviously not like as decadent with like the suit and shit, but same idea. Like some just very tall, skinny, weird looking fuck. Slenderman is going to be a topic coming up for us, I think, sooner rather than later.
There's actually I was playing Little Nightmares 2 recently, and there's a guy that kind of reminds me of Slenderman in it.
What do they call him so I can look at it?
The Glitched Man, I believe.
Oh, that's kind of fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I figured out that if you put the word in front of anything word in front of man, it's gonna kind of freak me out a little bit.
The handsome man. Just kidding.
Yeah, even that, I'm like, oh, is he handsome? No, but like, I mean, Glitch Man, Little Nightmares 2. Oh, okay.
He has like a hat and like he's in a suit.
Yeah, like the little fedora. Yeah. Yeah, I fucking hate, or like I don't hate it because I actually really like it. Like I like it. I like that how much it scares me because not everything scares me that much. But like, there's a lot of those kinds of things. Even like the name man isn't in there, but like the Babadook, freaks me out pretty bad. Even though like I know what it is and stuff. What is that movie that I'm thinking of? The Bye Bye Man.
What?
Yeah, that's also like dude, I've been finding some fucking gems lately just because there's like communities starting up for like there's a group of people in the world that were like, I've watched every fucking horror movie that anyone has ever heard of, and now I need to keep expanding because it's a pandemic and I don't know what the fuck else to do.
Okay.
And so they have just been hitting every post. Not every movie they post is good, but everyone that posts that has like multiple movie recommendations, at least one of them hits fucking hard. And the Bye Bye Man is one of those, and it actually was a big, like not a big budget, but it had a $7.5 million budget. So it wasn't like a small movie. It just didn't get a lot of attention, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Again, this kind of shit just scares me, but I thought it was pretty cool. Let me see if I can find out what it says on the cover of the movie. Oh, so it's him standing there in like a fucking coat or whatever,
Huh.
and over again it says, "Don't think it, don't say it. Don't think it, don't say it." That kind of shit too. It just gets me. I love it. Fucking must not sleep, must warn others. There's something here from somewhere else. From well, fucking must not sleep, must warn others is from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but there's something here from somewhere else is from Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay.
And that, I mean, those kinds of like little sayings I think are fucking horrifying too. Let me see if I can. I really love shit like that. Damn. It has a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
Okay, so don't watch this movie on my recommendation, because maybe I'm remembering it as better than it actually is. Kills people in
I
his
don't know
block.
what the hell's going on in this match that I'm playing, but one of these people is just fucking hiding in the locker somewhere, and I'm gonna fucking die because of it.
Damn, that's fucking selfish as fuck.
It's stupid. I don't get what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, I can see him, I think.
Like they just.
Or
came
is
out of
that
the
someone
locker
else
right
on a
there.
hook?
Like it's that person over there. The person in red is on the hook.
Also on the
person-
hook?
That person right there that's running towards me is a fucking idiot.
What an asshole.
Now they had a bird on them because they're just hiding in the fucking locker.
They had a what?
Because when you just do nothing, you get like crows on you,
Oh, shit.
and it tells the killer where you're at. And pretty
That's
much
actually pretty... That's cool. It keeps people from camping.
from like not doing nothing and hiding the whole game. Well, pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna die because of this person right here. That's gonna save me, but or not. Oh, what a fucking bitch.
How is the starting over going? Is it as annoying as it was in the beginning?
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not that bad. At first, it was kind of shitty, but it's getting better as I get more perks and shit. It's just the only bad thing is like playing at these ranks. People are just they do stupid shit like that and just hide,
Yeah.
and it's pretty annoying. Because like it just ruins like the match. Like okay, well like now instead of me being able to like be hooked one more time, if I get hooked again, I'm dead. So
Do you
I'm
feel
not
like
gonna-
you're getting... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not gonna go save that person because they were just hiding in the locker. So fuck 'em.
Yeah. Do you feel yourself getting better? Like you were always telling me that like people on the PC are just like it's just easier, so they're better. Like, do you feel that way about what like your experience right now?
I am getting a bit better at it. Nothing too crazy yet. I still fucking make some mistakes.
I mean, it looks a lot better. Like just visually, I can imagine that improves your game a little bit, and then the controls not being on the fucking console controls. I know how much that helps in certain other games, so I can only imagine it helps here too.
Yeah, for sure.
Where like, I feel like the only games that aren't helped by console games or sports games, it's why people plug their fucking console controllers into their PCs, but
Yeah.
which I guess I'm gonna be doing pretty soon here. Because
Wow, that
my
sucks.
My PS4 fucking died. It's dead. The best case scenario is that it's a power supply. Actually, the best case scenario is that it's the cord, which is highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Then the next best case scenario is that it's the power supply, which is still a $60 to $70 fix. But even that, they're saying it's probably not that either. That it's probably the APU, and that at that point it's so expensive to fix, you might as well just buy another one. So, pretty devastating stuff there.
That's for
But
sure.
yeah, it fucking sucks. But I'm on a PC now. Fucking, I need to figure out my internet situation, and I need to upgrade my graphics card as soon as possible. But it'll last me for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll be good for now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care enough to like
on
be upset about it.
on what's it called, Thursday, AMD's releasing some new graphics cards that Gibby and I are gonna try to get one. It's probably not gonna happen, but
Just because they're like a hot commodity, like all the rest of the graphics cards, because of fucking crypto mining and shit.
yeah, all that shit. Like all the crypto miners and the bots fucking get them, and shit sells out like in fucking like seconds.
That's fucked, man.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, there were 3 of these fucking graphics cards when I went, but like the guy said, I mean, he was just being a fucking douchebag. You're not going to use this for PC gaming, are you? Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm gonna fucking fuck you up. I've really thought about going back there and like saying something, but I've been more mature about the situation than that. So back to a little bit of body horror. We've already talked about It Follows.
It follows.
We've already talked about It Follows. We've talked about The Fly. Talked a little bit about Teeth. Definitely not going to go revisit that subject. But there's some other, obviously some body horror stuff. The Thing is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. John Carpenter's The Thing. Not the remake. God damn it. The original. And the best part of that for me is how good the special effects are compared to other things in that time. A lot of really big budget movies didn't have even close to the special effects that The Thing ended up having. That's body horror again because it's a parasite or something. I mean, it acts like a parasite. They kind of call it a parasite at one point, but again, an entity that is inside you that can, replicate who you are and take over your body and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely body horror. There's all sorts of gruesome fucking shit in that movie too. Body horror, gruesome, fucking aliens popping out of people and people melting and all sorts of dope shit. So, we covered The Thing on an episode because we were doing like it was Survivor Series, and my Survivor was from The Thing, so we kind of covered it. So I won't go too far into it, but what a fucking great movie. So, don't watch The Bye Bye Man. I'm the only person in the world that enjoyed it, apparently. I have been, skimming, not reading closely, but skimming through some of the reviews, and they are scathing, to say the least. People really fucking hated that movie. So don't go and watch it. But that's not what we were talking about anyway. They said so. Jennifer's Body is considered horror. I think that's just body horror. I think that's just because it has the word body in it. It's a vampire movie.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. Alien, you can obviously see why that is body horror. Any werewolf movie, so like American Werewolf in London, Wolfman, considered body horror. I'm trying to see some stuff that Black Swan. I
That's
agree with
weird.
that. Have you seen it? Did you ever see Black Swan?
Yeah, I didn't. I
Well,
guess I see the
so-
argument on it, but it's kind of weird.
When she's like growing feathers and shit, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty fucking fucked up.
I-
Cabin Fever,
I
not
guess
Cabin
they're-
in the Woods. Go ahead.
They're saying Jennifer's body probably because of when she gets like all sick and all fucked up. Maybe.
I don't hard disagree. Like I'm not like no way, but I do think like it's more of a vampire movie than anything else.
Yeah.
But it is on here, so someone else agreed. Who was saying that? Like in our chat?
No. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever, not to be mistaken with Cabin in the Woods. One of them is a fantastic movie. One of them not that good.
Yeah.
But Cabin Fever, it's you get sick in a cabin, people start clawing themselves to death and shit.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking.
Clown is actually on here,
Nice.
so that's District 9, I guess, because of all the Kafka stuff. Eraserhead, which is, if you've never seen it, it's a David Lynch film. I've watched it probably 3 times. I still don't understand what the fuck is going on. So, if you can explain Eraserhead to us, we'd love to have you on the fucking stream. Evil Dead franchise, I get that for sure. The Fly, obviously. They have Get Out on here, which I get because of the sinking place scene, and because they're stealing the bodies, right? Like they're putting like those old rich white people's brains into young black bodies. So like I get that too. Again, not traditional body horror, but I have highlighted a bunch of non-traditional stuff. So they have the Green Inferno on here, but for me that's way more torture porn. That's what we were talking about earlier.
That's for sure.
That movie is torture porn 101 is the Green Inferno. We have a friend that fainted when we were watching it.
It's a really good movie.
I've only ever seen it that one time, and I will not ever watch it again.
I thought it was cool.
I
I still think Cannibal Holocaust is more fucked up because there's actual like it's real sometimes, like when they kill the animals.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, no, I think Cannibal Holocaust is more fucked up, but I just also will not. I mean, I wouldn't watch either movie again.
Okay.
I'm not even sure I would watch Hostel again. Like, I've seen it several times. I think that's enough for me. Like, I don't see like the appeal of it anymore.
I remember I saw it. I thought it was okay. I just remember like a part where they slit the dude's Achilles with like a scalpel. I think that shit was fucked up.
Yeah, even just thinking about it gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies. Human Centipede is super obvious.
Yeah.
They have Ichi the Killer on here, which I don't know about you, but I don't exactly see where the body horror is in that movie, other than like the dismantling of some bodies.
No, that's just straight gore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ichi the Killer is just gore, especially like when maybe they're saying like no, because like you can't even talk about the part where they throw hot oil on the guy's back. That's just more gory. Or when the guy gives himself a Chelsea grin or cuts his tongue off. Like, I don't think that's really body horror per se. I think it's just more gory.
Well, and I think that's like the distinction that this list is not. This is just a little Wikipedia list, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Not super creative, but I'm enjoying talking about these movies and whether they qualify or not. So you're gonna have to deal with it.
So there's one that does count, and we do have the cocktail minute kind of based on it.
Oh yeah, fucking before you get into another game, definitely the spirit of Michelle, let it flow through you.
Yeah. I mean Hellraiser. Michelle decided to make us this beautiful cocktail called the Hellraiser Highball, pictured on screen. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Look at that technology, baby.
So
Love it. I
Michelle's
love it.
recipe is an ounce and a half of gin. She says your preference. So I'm gonna go with Hendrix. A quarter ounce
Mhm.
of Italicus bergamot liqueur. Another quarter ounce of Aperol. 3 drops of orange blossom water. And apple chamomile soda to top. Now, you may be wondering, like, what the fuck is apple chamomile soda? Well, she made it herself. You add 600 milliliters of water to a pot, along with 14 grams of loose chamomile tea and 50 grams of thinly sliced Honeycrisp apples. Bring to a
Jesus.
quick boil, cover and simmer on very low heat for 10 minutes. Fine strain and add 40 grams of sugar to every 500 milliliters of tea produced. You chill it until it's very cold, and then once chilled, you add it into a soda siphon, charge, and top. Boom.
Sounds delicious.
So with the cocktail, you add everything except the soda into a tin, and then with a few ice cubes, and you just shake it, and you integrate all the ingredients straight into an iced Collins glass, and top with the soda, and express the lemon peel, and garnish with suggestive apple wedge on the rim. Boom. Salute.
Thank you, Michelle / Ernie. That sounds fucking delicious. If you don't know what a Collins glass is, if you're Mexican, like we are, by the way, this is not hateful what I'm about to say. If you come from Hispanic homes, you drank juice out of fucking Collins glasses. like they're just like, it's just like glass like any other glassware. It's like a taller cylindric glass. It's a highball glass is what it's known as more frequently. Oh, there's a picture. We have a picture of it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Go ahead.
Michelle wanted to let everyone know that she misses you and she'll be back. She's just taking a Women's Month off. She blessed us with this beautiful cocktail. And she said a few things. She said it's inspired by the cult classic Hellraiser and what she deems to be one of the OGs in body horror. She created a very delicate and floral inspired highball to directly contrast the viciousness of the film. She says it's still boozy, refreshing, and yes, a homemade soda is used. But if you don't have the tools to carbonate, simply top with the tea and some Topo Chico to have those vicious bubbles in the drink. Sounds fucking amazing.
It does. It sounds like something that I would like crave. Like something that they would make that I would crave, that where I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Eve and I'm gonna fucking get one of these because nowhere else in town makes anything even close to it. And that's why they're in the position they are. We will let Michelle tell you what she's doing when she gets back. Like, I want her to explain it. I don't want to like not do it justice, but she's doing some really cool shit. That's why she's not here. She's doing some really fucking cool things for her career. And she got some really cool job opportunities, and she just can't be with us for like she said, about a month. She will be back, and we thank her for taking the fucking time to do this for us and continue the Cocktail Minute. And I want to tell you so badly what she's doing because it's so cool, but we'll let her tell you what's going on with her when she gets back.
It's porn. I'm just kidding.
It's really cool. It's a really great opportunity. It's porn.
It's not really porn, guys.
It's not porn. It'd be a great opportunity. I take an opportunity and just fucking fuck for a living. Feels like the easiest kind of money, right? I mean, I'm sure that it's not true because I know that it's probably gross, but it seems like really easy money.
I mean, what's necessarily gross about it? Like that you just have to fuck all these different girls on different days?
No, that's not the gross part of it. So I was actually on there's if you've ever been on Reddit, you know what r/ask Reddit is. and I will try to post it somewhere, maybe on our YouTube, the link to this Ask Reddit forum. Not like Ask Reddit, but the specific question that somebody asked. And someone asked, like, what are the downsides of doing porn? Like, other than the obvious of, like, everyone knows that you're a porn star and, like, however your family feels about it, whatever. Like, no, like, what are the things that someone outside of the industry would just never think of? And the answer that came up over and over and over and over again was the smell. I can only fucking imagine what that even means. Like just, I mean, I literally can only imagine, but that sounds like it's bad enough where, like, not everybody could do it. And one of the guys was like, people think, like, doing porn is, like, a guy is just, like, having a big dick and, like, being able to get hard. It's like, no, you have to get hard under, like, disgusting circumstances, like the smell, and, like, some of these girls are on fucking drugs, and like, you know, like, there's a bunch of people in the room, and even if you're not attracted to somebody, you still gotta fucking do it and all this other stuff. Either way, I feel like it's better than teaching English, which is what I do. But
It pays a lot more money too.
and it pays a lot more money. Even if you have to fucking live through a smell for a couple hours, you're working, you know, a couple hours a day, and then you're out of there. So there's also not the same stigma for men in porn that there are for women in porn. So they don't have to, like, live through that part of it, which I wouldn't have to live through that part of it. But I can tell you my family wouldn't be happy. Even if I was making a bunch of money, they'd be like, no, you're going to go to hell. Like, all right. I'm all right. We're living in hell right now.
Right.
Fucking everything that's going on. Oh, back to the list. I want to talk about Hellraiser. I want to talk about it, first of all, with Michelle. She obviously likes the movie a lot, but also the Hellraiser series could warrant multiple episodes, but I think we could do just, like, Hellraiser 1 as its own episode, or maybe even Hellraiser 1 and 2, and then, like, talk about the rest of the series, like, as a section at the end of the episode. Either way, I think it warrants its own episode, so I'm not going to talk too much about Hellraiser. It's innovative as fuck, I will say that. There's not a lot of movies before or since Hellraiser that you could say, like, oh, this movie reminds me of Hellraiser. Like, no, it doesn't. And if it does, chances are that they but there's an homage to one of the things that was unique to Hellraiser. So that. Jacob's Ladder, have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder?
No. I don't even know what that is.
Fucking Tim Robbins. I didn't really like the movie very much, but so this is interesting because it's Jacob's Ladder is like someone losing their mind. But if we're gonna say that, like, losing your mind is a form of body horror, then that goes into a lot of different movies. So I'm uncomfortable going into that part of Jacob's Ladder until I know exactly why someone would have deemed it as body horror, and I just didn't do the research. So let's see what else we got here. There's a bunch of movies I never heard of. Overlord, I absolutely agree with that. Fucking Nazi experiments and shit.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
Shit was fucked up. Raw is about that movie where they forced that vegan girl to eat meat.
What the fuck? Wait, I've
And
heard of
then-
that, but I never watched it.
Yeah, so they well, she's not vegan, she's vegetarian, excuse me. I know how people get very upset if you mix those things up, but she's a vegetarian, and she's, like, on a school trip, and they force her to eat raw meat, and not even like steak, like kidneys of some kind or a liver of some kind. Anyway, that's body horror because it transforms her. She like she like can't be satisfied. She's having fucking insatiable hunger and she starts to turn into a cannibal. So
Fuck, that's crazy.
that's pretty cool.
So she- that's
Go ahead,
cool.
sorry.
So it's like she becomes like a cannibal, like vampires. You know how like when a vampire, like, well, you get turned into a vampire and you have like this like urge for like blood. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, almost exactly like that, except you find out that eventually that there's like a tiny bit more to it than that. Like there's an actual engine of like her changing. It's not just like, oh, I want flesh. Like, no, something was tainted about the meat and she like turns into like an actual monster kind of thing. Let's see what else we've got here. Raw Scanners. I don't really agree with that. You ever see Scanners, Julia Roberts?
No idea what that is.
Scanners is a movie. Actually, it was very impactful for me as a young man, even though it was 10 years old by the time by that time I was born. It's about a movie about a group of people that purposely they're scientists and they're trying to discover whether or not there's an afterlife.
Okay.
And so they kill it. They don't kill each other they scientifically induce death.
What is it called again?
And then Scanners.
Isn't that the one where they recently remade it with Ellen Page?
Oh fuck, I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
That's something else, right?
Yeah, this movie is about some kind of telekinetic powers. What the fuck movie? Oh, duh. The movie I'm thinking of, I think, is literally called Flatliners.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, no. So not. I have never seen Scanners, if I'm being 100% honest. Or the remake with Ellen Page.
Well, the remake is of Flatliners with Ellen Page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the remake. I do really like the original movie. Slither, which that's pretty fucking obvious.
That one was fucked.
Yeah, pretty fucked up movie. I probably wouldn't watch it.
Okay. Yep. Fucking A. I heard the fucking noise in the match and someone DC'd. That's fucked up. Like someone quit during the menu.
Oh shit! So that you don't get like blood points or anything for that?
Nah. But
So
this other person are kind of just trolling around. They're like, easy win.
See, when that happens like in MTG Arena, you don't even get to like, it's not even a win. It's just you get a fucking draw and it's a waste of time. Let's see the end of this list because I know we've been doing this for a while, but I've been having fun with it. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Suspiria is a movie that people have told me to watch over and over and over again, and I haven't.
Suspiria?
Toxic Avenger. I know you like that movie, right?
No, I've never heard that.
No. And The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which we actually covered.
Yeah, that one's pretty fucking scary.
To be fair, there's a lot of movies on here that I haven't heard of, so maybe I'm not giving the body horror genre it's fair due, but I don't particularly prescribe to it in the way that I like other movies or other types of horror movies. And I guess we're gonna take not a break from like streaming, but a little bit of a break from body horror because I'm tired of saying the words body horror.
Body horror, body horror, body horror.
Dude, yeah, like fucking hell.
Your TV's gonna turn on and some like fucking sex demon's gonna come out and like butt rape you.
Oh. That was actually going pretty well until you said butt rape, and then it's like, oh,
Marty's
why is it gotta be like that?
My dog's like, you better not be no butt rape demon in here.
I'll get you, butt rape demon.
Oh man.
Anyway, that as for now, anyway. was the body horror episode. We're not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I can't imagine we're going to talk about that many more of the content or that much more of the content that we talked about. If you have gotten up to this part of the episode and you're still listening, make sure you hit that follow button. We for sure this week, I've been saying this for 3 weeks, but for fucking sure, our technology has now come full circle. Like, we have the technology in place that we're going to be using. So if you feel like you've been kind of hanging out by yourself sometimes in our stream, it's probably because you were a little bit, but we are going to start getting people here by any means necessary. I am calling in favors. I am telling people that if they love me, they need to start watching. I'm emotionally manipulating people into showing up, but I just didn't want to push it that hard until I knew that the audio was going to be fixed. And I've had zero problems with the audio here this week, which means that that's good enough for me to start really pushing and getting people to show up to our streams and make our dreams come true. We've got big dreams for all of this stuff, and we can't do it without you guys and without people watching and without people following and all that good stuff. With that said, we're also going to have to move days around. We're going to have to do at least 3 different days. We've already got 2 down, but there will be like a midweek stream at some point, just probably not this week. If you're looking for something to do on St. Patrick's Day, come check me out at the Pershing Inn outdoor patio, probably around 5:30, maybe even 5 o'clock. There's going to be 4 bands after me, or 4 performances rather. So there's going to be music all night long for St. Patty's Day. They've got all sorts of cheap specials at the PI. They've got more expensive specials at Velvet Elvis on the same property. You can go visit the homie Susie outside. She's got all of your basic beer and shot needs. So that's Wednesday. If you're looking for something to do during the week, Ernie streams at least 3 times a week, sometimes more than that. What are you planning for this week's streaming?
I think I'm gonna do this one called Hellblade, and it's DBD, so it should be pretty fun.
Do you know what days, or?
Hopefully, like on Wednesday and Friday, maybe throw in Thursday. I'm not too sure. I might even do tomorrow. I don't know. I might do every day this week.
Nice. Well, make sure that you're following his social medias. I don't want to give you all of them because I don't know like what privacy you want. But Instagram is at Ernie1227. Is that right? Is that right? I don't know. I'll check.
Well, you just follow my Twitter. Twitter.com/ I don't know. I'll put it in the description.
I think it is. I'll just get my phone because it's been charging longer. I think I got it right though. I think it is Ernie1227. Talk a little bit about football here in a second, if that's your thing. Oh, Michelle also put the cocktail on her personal page.
Yeah.
So if you want to go check that out, it's Mishy Volta, MISHY VOLTA. She's got that highball up there. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Gunnerfrog, GUNNERFROG. To keep all the up-to-dates on the music stuff. And then for Ernie's streams, Ernie1227 on Instagram. I think he's the same thing on Twitter. So you can keep up to date on when he's going to stream and go hang out with him when he's doing more DBD stuff or his other stuff, Little Nightmares or Hellblade or whatever it's going to be. I just read your message. I'll tell you off the air. I can't remember her name. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about football here, since we don't have a lot of people hanging out anyway. And maybe it'll entice people to hang out later. We'll keep it short. We'll keep it short so that it's not like it doesn't turn into a sports podcast. But very briefly, some big names coming off the free agent market today. Most notably, well, maybe not most notably. There's actually quite a few, but some of the bigger names. Well, Gronk is coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shaq Barrett coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jets agreed with Carl Lawson. Jameis Winston going back to the Saints. Fucking that linebacker from Baltimore going to the Patriots. The Patriots had a big fucking day. Jonnu Smith, the tight end.
They signed Jalen Mills.
to play safety.
Good riddance.
Yeah, the Eagles are in cap trouble because, well, not cap trouble, but they just can't be aggressive as some of the other teams because of their cap situation, because of all the Carson Wentz dead money. But the good news is that next year they're going to have a shitload of cap space.
Yeah.
And people are just trying to survive that division right now anyway. Fucking Washington is going to have that Heineke kid at quarterback. The Giants don't know what the fuck they're going to do, so.
The Cowboys re-signed Dak. Ha!
The Cowboys re-signed Dak Prescott. They gave Dak Prescott a lot of money. I don't necessarily agree with it. There's a lot of different opinions. Where are you going to find somebody better? Or, you weren't going to pay him and then he was going to go to Washington. All of that I get. But also, make it past the first round of the playoffs. And then talk to me about how I can't find a better quarterback. Because it's a matter of it's not just a matter of you can't measure that. Look at Phillip Rivers and the career he's had. How many times he made it past the first round of the playoffs? First of all, more times than he made. But second of all, it's look at the teams that Phillip Rivers had around him. Not all bad teams, but there were definitely teams where you're he's kind of doing this without very much help. At one point, and I don't know, not everyone that's listening to this, I'm gonna put at a 0.1% people listening to this are going to know who Keenan McCardell is. But Keenan McCardell was Phillip Rivers' number one receiver at one point when he was making it to the playoffs. Dak has had Des Bryant. Dak has had he now has CeeDee Lamb, but he's also had Michael Gallup. He's had fucking Amari Cooper. And Cole Beasley. And none of those guys are slouches. Ezekiel Elliott has been there. He's had one of the best offensive lines in the league as a very young quarterback. The defense, you can say what you want to about them. It hasn't been great, but I think he's been overpaid in a huge way. And time flies when you're having fun. That's kind of the end of the time that we said we'd give ourselves. But definitely an interesting day in the NFL. Always look forward to days like this because, you get about 21 weeks of football out of the year, which, it's almost half. But it feels like a lot less, especially, for me, I enjoyed all of it. I'm a Bucs fan, but usually with the Buccaneers, we're out before the playoffs, so I really only get 17 weeks of football. And then when it's gone, you miss it. There is spring football going on this year because of the fucking plague. The FCS has a lot of football programs playing football right now, and it's actually pretty cool to watch football on Saturday in the spring. All right, that's been sports for the evening. Go watch some FCS football because it's very entertaining.
What's that?
It's Division 2.
Oh, okay.
It's the Division 1 is FBS Football Pro. Football Bowl Series, and then the FCS is the Football Championship Series, and it just means that it's Division One and Division Two. It's actually considered Division One AA or whatever, but no one calls it that. So that's been sports.
Sports with your Death by Daylight.
Yeah, Death by Daylight. I actually, and we've been talking about this for a while, but now that I have a computer up and running and my PlayStation is dead, so I have more time on my hands. We're trying to expand. We're trying to do a stream and then do a podcast. So we're not 100% sure how that would work. We're trying to work out the logistics, but maybe if you're listening to this, you could give us some ideas about how the entities could be different. So on the podcast, we only do this or we do this, and on the stream, maybe we talk less academically. Maybe we talk about less subject matter, and we just get as many people as we can to come in and play and hang out. And then we leave all the discussions for the podcast. But definitely want to expand a little bit of a brand too. I think in El Paso we're missing all of our local stuff is still run like it was 20 years ago. Sports radio in El Paso is ESPN 600 AM. Sports, Duke Keith does the announcing for every fucking sports team in town. The sports writers are all in the fucking newspaper. And in bigger markets, and maybe even in just different markets, not necessarily bigger markets, although we're an incredibly small market, people are taking over those broadcasts. Our generation of people are taking over and being like, look, I'm just going to make my own platform. I don't need to take over Steve Kapowitz's job to fucking talk about sports in Texas. Like, I just need to create my own platform, let people know that it's there. And there are a lot of things that Ernie and I happen to be lucky enough. Maybe it's luck, maybe we're just good. But we happen to be both enough that we have a lot of really talented friends that could talk about a lot of really interesting stuff. And we know because we talk to them about that stuff. So trying to expand into a brand where we could have something where we talk about sports, where we could talk about music, trying to figure out if people would be more interested in, like, we're talking about music, but we're only talking about El Paso music. We're talking about sports, but we're only talking about sports in Texas. That kind of thing, or if people would want to listen to us do like national stuff. There's a lot of stuff cooking. I think if you've gotten in on with us on the ground floor, that's good for everybody. It's good for you. It's good for us. We're doing everything that we can do to try to expand and try to get the word out. And I think, talking about coming up on a year of broadcasting, I think, we've shown a pretty significant amount of commitment here to what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do. And on Ernie's part of it, more on specifically on the streaming, is really hitting the ground running with the streaming part. And so I need to catch up on the other stuff that we've talked about. Hopefully Jesus will be able to be back at some point. We hope that Michelle, that we know for sure, will be back. It's just a matter of time. We've reached out to guys like Jude to see what their interest level is and on collabing with us and doing some stuff, as well as some other familiar faces. Gibby is one of them. So we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. They've given me the red light at the back to go ahead and finish up what we're doing. Pretty enjoyable episode for me. I like talking about horror, obviously. We don't have what we're talking about next week, but I do know for a fact we've done horror movies kind of back to back here. So we're going to go away from that and go into real life haunting, or maybe Slender Man, maybe something like that instead of an actual film. And so we look forward to that. If you'd like to be on the stream, let us know. There's a possibility that we can have you on with us to talk about something, maybe one of your favorite subjects. Hit that follow button. Let all your friends know that we're here at Death by Daylight on Instagram, at Death by Daylight on Twitter, Death by Daylight on Facebook. Let them know and tell them that we're doing the thing. And that's it for me. Did a lot more talking than I'm used to. I usually have at least Ernie and Michelle. This week it was me and Ernie having to focus on the stream, so I'm pretty beat. Ernie, do you want to take over a little bit here?
Yeah, just thanks everyone. If you look on the screen, you can see all of our links there. Yeah, go ahead and follow. Go ahead and hang out every week. We'll be here every week. And yeah, thanks a lot.
And the energy will be actually. I liked the energy all the way up until about 3 minutes ago when I started feeling like my voice was going. But we're gonna be all right, and we're gonna, even when people aren't here, we're gonna have good episodes. We're gonna continue to have good episodes, and we build a community. It'll be a lot easier because we'll have people to interact with. So thanks a lot. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. And peace to the gods. Word to Preezy. Good night.
Latest. Good night, everyone.